The TLX has offered a lot of bang for your buck since it was introduced a few years ago. However, value isn't enough in this segment, so the TLX was often forgotten even though it was a competent offering. Now for 2018, Acura is spicing things up by offering far more style, even more standard equipment, and a new sporty trim level. We have that trim level, the A-Spec, but this review will also cover all three other trims, and all the powertrain options. So let's go ahead and see if the upgraded TLX now offers the right combination of value and appeal. We would like to specially thank Courtesy Acura for allowing us to film today's vehicle. If you want to check out their huge inventory of new Acuras, a link to their website and their physical address has been provided in the video description. So as you all probably know, the A-Spec is a new trim level for the 18 TLX. As far as where that falls in the trim lineup, it basically shares flagship duty with the Advance. As one would expect from a luxury car, Smart Entry is standard, along with this very nice key fob. Remote Start is reserved for the Advance. Yes, this one does have the new RED interior. But before we check that out, let's first pop the hood and take a look at the powertrains. The one place Acura didn't make any changes was under the hood. Things start off with the same 2.4 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, standard on base or technology trims. It produces 206 horsepower and 182 pound-feet of torque, powering the front wheels only through an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. While super handling all-wheel drive is not available, you do get all-wheel steering instead. What we have is the bigger option, the 3.5 liter V6 engine, which is more common since it's available on all 4 trims. It puts out 290 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque. It is also paired to a different transmission, a 9-speed ZF automatic, and power is put down via the front wheels or optional SH all-wheel drive. In regards to fuel economy, the TLX is towards the upper end of the segment. The front-wheel drive only 4-cylinder model gets 23 city, 33 highway, 27 combined. Upgrading to the V6 penalizes the MPG surprisingly little, at 20 city, 32 highway, 24 combined. And then adding super handling all-wheel drive to that doesn't change the combined rating at all. Finally, for some reason, the A-Spec loses 1 MPG combined over the others. Anyways, now let's check out the big changes to the outside. A lot of brands refresh vehicles and you can hardly even tell, but that's not the case for the new TLX. The entire front end has been redesigned, with the new diamond pentagon grille taking center stage. It looks a lot more aggressive than before, especially in this A-Spec configuration. If you don't get this package, it is the same, except for shiny chrome tracing around it. The headlights also see a redesign. They are now even thinner than before, and this A-Spec gets smoked lenses. They are fully LED. Now the lower area is where you see a big difference between the A-Spec and the other trims. We have black mesh that goes across the entire front end of the car. There are also two distinct segments, surrounded by black trim, and they contain large round fog lamps. The other trims look more similar to the outgoing model, with no lower grille and two thinner regions on the sides. On advanced trims, you will also find rectangular fog lamps here. Overall, it's a big difference between the trims. "2018 also brings big updates to the wheels. These A-Spec wheels mark the largest wheels that have ever been available on the TLX. They are 19-inch alloys with a sharp gray finish. All other V6 models get 18-inch alloys, with the Advance having a slightly different design. Finally, 4-cylinder TLXs have 17-inch alloys. Regardless of trim, the brakes are 12.6-inch vented disc in the front and 12.2-inch solid disc in the rear. And the tires are all seasons. Coming up to the mirrors, they are power and heated on all trims.
James Young, Park Counter.
You have to get the Advance to get auto dimming and power folding. Notice the windows lose the chrome on the A-Spec. The TLX is 191.7 inches long, which does make it an inch longer than last year. That only serves to extend its size advantage over competitors like the Audi A4 and Lexus IS, but it's still a bit smaller than the Lincoln MKZ. In regards to safety tests, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety hasn't tested any 2018 models yet. Last year's model did good on all of the tests, besides average on the small front overlap, but there's no word yet on whether that's been corrected this year. One thing they for sure changed is that their full suite of safety technologies are now standard across the board. That includes collision mitigation braking, lane keep assist, and road departure mitigation. As you can see, the side is pretty much unchanged from 2017. But moving around to the rear, there are many extensive changes back here. On the A-Spec, the aggressiveness is ramped up massively, starting with this blacked out deck lid spoiler. The Advance will also get one, but it's body colored. The taillights are LED, and they have a similar 5-segment design to the headlights. It looks like the lenses are smoked for A-Spec. Just like the front, the biggest changes are found in the lower areas. The A-Spec includes this black rear diffuser, which integrates 2 large diameter round exhausts. The size and positioning are similar to the fog lamps in the front. Other V6 models will get a smaller diffuser with horizontal exhaust outlets and chrome accents. The roughly 40% of you that choose the 4-cylinder will get hidden exhaust like all the 17s did. Finishing things up, the TLX has a 17.2 gallon fuel tank. Fuel ranges are 464 miles with the front-wheel drive 4-cylinder, 396 for the V6 A-Spec, and 413 for all of the other V6 models. Acura recommends premium fuel, but you don't absolutely have to. Now that we've looked at the big changes to the outside, let's hop inside and see what's changed in there. When you first look inside, you'll notice one obviously big change. And that of course is the new red interior. I for one never thought I'd see this on any model besides the NSX. So color me impressed that Acura is stepping out with some newfound boldness. This red is exclusive to the A-Spec, but it's kind of rare, so the more common interior you will find is black with Alcantara inserts. Base TLXs get leatherette, and all the rest get Milano leather, in either ebony, parchment, greystone, or espresso. The door trim continues the same leather used from the seats. It's softly padded with nice stitching. We also have some kind of silver painted wood for the A-Spec, and all 4 windows are automatic. Up here we have 2-person memory functions for the seats and the mirrors. The driver's seat is 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar. And new for 2018 is the power thigh extension for the V6 models. This Milano leather is very nice and supple feeling, and most models will get contrast piping and stitching. None of that was available last year. First looking around the cabin, you are greeted by mostly familiar looks. The materials also stay the same, with nicely grained soft touch plastic on the top portion. We also have some more of that wood trim here, and again through this whole center area. Fit and finish remains tight and well done. To start the vehicle, just press the standard button. As you can see, the 2-screen setup has made its way to the 18 as well. They have seen several upgrades, however, which I'll show off in a minute. The gauges didn't see much in the way of upgrades, but I do think the red color is new. The drive assist display is a little on the small side, but it covers all the expected info. The steering is electric rack and pinion, and all models get a leather-wrapped wheel. The A-Spec adds some special branding, which I believe matches the exterior color. Here are most of your steering wheel controls. And on this side you have cruise, which is adaptive on all trims. The wipers are rain sensing on all but base models. Up here on the pillar we have the blind spot monitoring, which lights up this indicator if a vehicle is in your blind spot. It's standard on most models. In regards to storage, the TLX falls in line with its rivals. The center storage bin is pretty deep, and there are several connections inside of it. In the front there is another area, but now with a wireless charging pad on Advance and A-Spec. There is another 12-volt outlet and a USB. V6 models get this electronic shifter. It's pretty easy to use, just press the D for drive. You use this button to cycle through the drive modes. You can also shift manually via the paddle shifters. The trigger-shaped button activates reverse. As one expects from a luxury vehicle, a backup camera is standard. They all have guidance lines, and you can change the views, but only the Advance gets the surround view camera system. Back here you have an electronic parking brake, and a brake hold feature, so that you could take your foot off the brake pedal at traffic lights, for example. And this button turns off auto start stop. These are the knobs and buttons used to control the top screen. The layout has been revised a bit this year. Above that you have the dual zone automatic climate control, with half physical buttons and half digital. These toggles are very nice. Fan speed is exclusively up here, and things respond way faster than they did last year. We also have 3-stage heated and ventilated seats, which are automatic and link in with the climate control. Overall, it's much improved. What you are hearing now is the 10-speaker ELS sound system. All but the base level cars get this system. And now that brings us to the redesigned AcuraLink system. It still uses a 7-inch touch display on the bottom, and an 8-inch non-touch display on the top. However, the software has seen some improvements, so let's take a quick look. We will start off with the bottom screen, which is used primarily for audio functions. I currently have my phone connected via Bluetooth, so you can control it right here. The graphics look more modern this year. And here are all your other audio sources. The biggest new feature for 2018 lives on the top screen. By pressing smartphone, you launch either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, depending on what type of phone you have. This is the first mainstream Acura with this function. Most models will also come with integrated navigation, but to be honest, it looks dated compared to the Google Maps we were just on. When entering an address, a keyboard pops up on the lower screen to expedite the process. Acura says this screen is 30% faster this year, and I definitely believe them. That's all I'm going to cover in this video, but if you'd like to see a very detailed tutorial on the AcuraLink system, then check out our dedicated tech help video. A link is provided in the video description. You've got a premium auto-dimming rearview mirror, which is standard on all TLXs, and there is also universal remotes on the roof. Additionally, Acura includes a moonroof on every TLX. It's not panoramic, but most in the class don't offer that either. All in all, I am very pleased by the upgrades made to the cabin. They made small changes, but to meaningful places, like the infotainment. It feels more special, and overall they ramped up the luxury without ramping up the price. Now my brother will show off the rest of the vehicle. Moving to the rear, you've got the smart entry system on these doors too. I think this is new for 2018. The door trim in the back is also a mix of bright red leather and padded plastic. And these A-Spec door sills are a nice touch. In the back of the TLX, you'll find 34.5 inches of legroom and 36.7 inches of headroom. That makes it quite a bit smaller than the MKZ, but it's class competitive overall. The seats themselves are very soft, and the Milano leather feels very upscale. In the center, all TLXs will enjoy rear air vents, and the top and Advance will get heated rear seats, new for this year. The armrest is big, wrapped in leather, and has 2 cup holders. Up top there's LED lighting, a good headliner, and an assist grip. Legroom is not abundant here, but keep in mind that the seat is adjusted all the way back. Overall, I really like the TLX's rear seat. The Milano leather, available heated rear seats, and a nice amount of space helps it to be one of the best offerings in the class. You can open the trunk through the fob, but I think it's easier to just use the button underneath the lid. Here you'll find 14.3 cubic feet of capacity for all models, making it once again less than the Lincoln, but more than the Germans. It does have a pretty large opening. And finally, the seats fold 60-40 split. The passenger seat on our model, and all V6 models for that matter, is 8-way power adjusting. Acura does switch it out for 4-way power on the 4-cylinder. The dash is grain plastic, and I really like the sporty looking trim. The glove box itself does open pretty wide, and it's felt lined and illuminated. And one last thing, just like many new Acura and Honda products, the TLX includes walk-away auto locking. Regardless, we hope you all enjoyed one of the first in-depth reviews on the refreshed 2018 Acura TLX A-Spec Red. Stay tuned for the pricing of this particular A-Spec model, as well as the rest of the TLX lineup. Also, don't forget to help us out by liking, subscribing, and posting some comments below. See you next time.